Hi everyone, it's Chala from Crafting Through the Chaos of Life. Thanks so much for joining me. For today's video, I am going to be showing you how I create the cover for a mini junk journal. And I am just using one of these tiny cereal boxes that we usually use for when we go camping. And so it's like just a really tiny box. I think it measures about not quite 5 inches by about 3 inches, so it's going to be a nice cute little tiny journal. So the first thing that we want to do is go ahead and open this box up, and so we're going to find the part of the box where it joins together, and so for me it's right here on this box. So I'm going to carefully separate this from the box, and ideally what I want to do is I want to be able to save this portion here to use on the spine to help just give the spine a little bit more security or structure to it. So as carefully as I can, trying to maintain the integrity of this piece, can tear that off. And then what we're simply going to do is we're going to cut these flaps off. So I'm just going to use my regular scissors here and just cut along the fold lines and just cut those flaps off. Again, doing the same thing on the other side. Trying to do this as straight as possible. And there we go. So these little bits here we do not need. We can recycle them unless you want to save them for something in particular. You can always use them to create tabs for the sides of things. They're nice and strong for that, but I've got lots of that tabs and stuff, so I'm just going to recycle that. Okay, the next thing I want to do is cut off this little flap here. Again, I'm going to be cutting right along that fold line. There we go. I might have to just straighten that up just a bit. You can use your paper cutter as well to get a straighter cut on there. And then we're going to cut off this little flap where it joined. Again, we want to keep this part. I hope everyone's doing well today and that you're able to find yourself in your craft room crafting along with me. Alright, so this piece here, again, we can use to make the spine of this sturdy. We can sew our signatures into this little piece and then glue this down so that you can have a hidden sewn in signature if you want. So I like to keep these just in case. Alright, so I'm just going to set this piece aside, and now what we can do is we can go ahead and start decorating the cover of our journal. Now I just have some papers here. I don't really remember where I got them from. If I do remember, I will link them down below, but I just have some papers here. I believe I just got them off the internet, just searching junk journal papers. I believe these were free, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of create a shabby chic journal. So I like this rose. I kind of want that to be on the front of my journal. So I'm just going to use my tear ruler, and I'm going to give myself quite a bit of room here. Tear down that way. Tear off this little white border strip. And do the same thing on this edge. Now you can collage yourself. Do your own collage papers to do the covers of your journals. I just happen to like this paper, so. Alright. Hopefully I've left myself enough room to collage this on there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use some strong glue. I'm going to use my 3-in-1 beacon glue. And I'm going to do a nice thin layer of glue all along here, because I don't want it to kind of show through the back of our papers. I'm going to get my little credit card here just so I can smooth this down. Just center that as much as I can on there. Just using my credit card, just smoothing that on there. I say credit card, but it's just a gift card thing. You can use whatever you like. Get that glued down, and then I'm just going to trim off any of the excess. And then I can save these extra bits just in my scrap bin to do collaging on other pieces. There we go, and as simple as that, we've got the start of our cover. So I think that looks kind of pretty with that flower on there, and we can add like a label or something. Let's go ahead and finish off covering this. Let's see. For the back, I kind of want this blue flower. So let's go ahead and tear down this piece. Got everything everywhere here. There we go. And we'll tear down this. And this piece. Then I'll go ahead and use my Beacon 3-in-1 and glue it right down again. And making sure to smooth this glue out as thin as possible on this cardboard, just so I don't get any lumpy bits underneath. And using my gift card just to smooth out that glue as well and make sure it adheres well to the paper and the cardboard. Then I can go ahead and, as we did before, just trim off the excess. It would be really fun to make one of these small journals, I think with postage stamps. Just doing a collage of postage stamps. I might try that on my next one. So there we go. We have our front and our back done. And when I'm all done, I think what I'll do is I'll probably ink it up here, but we do need to think about our back spine. And we can just use some of this paper. I think that would look nice. You can also use some lace as well. But I think I'll just use this leftover paper that we have. Just adding some more of this 3-in-1 glue. Nice smooth layer. Line this up. Again, pressing it down. This is a really quick and simple way to create a cover of a journal. If you have some pretty pattern paper that you like, just go ahead and use that. You can create your own collages. You can cover it with fabric. I just thought this was a fun, quick process today for this little tiny journal, just to use this page of paper that I thought was so pretty. And we'll trim this off. Yeah, none of these papers are going to go to waste. I'm going to tuck them into my collage bin and use them on another project. Okay, so there we go. Now, you can see I do have a little bit of the red peeking through. So I think what I might do is trim this off, just to add some stability and to cover that up. I think I might use some washi tape. I'm just seeing what I have. This is kind of the best washi tape I have, but it's really thick. I think instead what I might do is check out my ribbons. I'll be right back with some lace and ribbons to look at. Okay, so I've pulled out some different ribbons and laces, and we'll just try and get a look at what we think would look best. So this isn't too bad. I put that down the sides. Let's see. And find the end of this. Where we have this. Let's see. I don't know which one I like better. I think I like this just a little bit better just because it covers a bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and now I'm using Fabri-Tac. Fabri-Tac is really great when you're adhering ribbons or laces, fabric. Just gives it a bit more strength than a regular craft glitter glue. Alright, so go ahead and smooth this out and we'll lay it down over top of that bend. Yeah, I think that'll work nicely. Smooth that out. We'll go ahead and trim it off. And again, the same thing on the back. I like to do hidden spines on most of my journals that I do, so I think I'll probably do the same thing on this. Let's make it a hidden spine. And a hidden spine basically means you just don't see the binding strings through on the back of your journal. Journals can be made out of refurbished books or doing what I'm doing, using recycling products. I like to use recycled items just because it's not going in the landfill and I'm making something pretty out of what normally would be waste or recycling. I just think that's a lot of fun and unique thing to do. Saves the environment and creates something beautiful. Alright, so there we go. That bends over beautifully on those corners. So there we go, we've got the outside cover of our journal done. Now let's get this put away. We want to work on the inside. And I think I'm just going to put this on the inside of the entire journal. I think I like that as kind of the inside cover. So we'll go ahead and tear down the white edges off of here. There we go. So journal making has been such a fun process for me to kind of work through. Also doing card making. Those are kind of the two main things that I spend my time crafting on. I also knit and crochet and paint. But journal making has been a really unique way for me to express my creativity, that's for sure. And it's challenged me. Alright, so I think we can just simply glue that down, and I'm just thinking, I think I want to sew around the outside of this. So I'll sew it on, so that just means all I need to use really to adhere this down is, I'm just going to use my Uhu stick. If I was not sewing around, I would definitely use a stronger glue than the Uhu, but this will just hold it, kind of like tack it in place just long enough for me to get it sewn around. So I'm just going to bring over my glue book and turn this piece over and just apply some Uhu all over it, getting a good layer. And we want to make sure that our flowers are facing the right direction. Go ahead and press that down. I think that'll make a really pretty inside of the journal. Again, what I can do is I still have leftover pieces that if I decide to do this as a hidden spine, I can cover this in the same pattern paper and it won't be seen in the back. So just leaving some options open right now for what we want to do. And trim that off. You guys will have to let me know down below, what is your favorite type of journal? Is it a ring bound? Is it a hand bound one? Do you like the 3-ring clips? Do you have a favorite theme of a journal? I have a whole bunch of different themes that I want to try and make. My last one was my Alice in Wonderland journal, and I loved how that one turned out. So much fun to make. Doing things in a theme is a lot of fun. I've also done a Christmas Mickey Mouse altered little golden book journal, so that was fun as well. I'll have to do a video showing that one as I just finished it. So there we go, we've got the outside and inside of our journal complete. So now I'm just going to quickly go off screen. I'll sew around and I'll come back and show you the finished sewing product. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done some sewing around the edge of this journal all the way around the cover here, and it turned out really well. I just did a really kind of small zigzag stitch. The one last thing that I want to do for the cover of this journal is give it some inking around the edges. So I'm just using my vintage photo, my blending brush, and I'll go ahead and just ink up the edges just a little bit. I think it really frames it out nicely and gives it more of that vintagey feel. So you can see that doesn't take long at all. You don't have to get too fancy for the covers of your journals. You can, you know, definitely go more fancy if you want, different types of papers. Like I said, you can collage. But this was just a really fun and quick, simple inking that we did today, or fun cover. So that didn't take long at all. And join me for the next video, in which we're going to go ahead and make these signatures for this tiny little journal. Thanks so much for joining me for this quick cover video, guys, and until next time, P.S. I love you. I just want to thank you so much for spending your time with me today. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're looking for specific materials that I've used in today's video, go ahead and check out the links down below. As well, I'd really love it if you sent me some snail mail. I'm always interested to know what you guys have been up to and what you've been creating, and I'd love to share your cards on my next video. Thanks so much again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. P.S. I love you.